Welcome to SEC Tournament Today, the first edition of it. And if Ole Miss loses today, it will be the last one for this year. But we're going to go through because today is a Doug Day. Doug Nikhazy's going to take the hill for the Rebels against Auburn later on tonight. I'm here with Chad Smith to talk all about the Ole Miss Auburn game today and the SEC tournament and all that. How you doing, Chad?
All right, yourself, Stephen?
Oh, I'm doing quite well. Doing quite well. It's a Doug Day.
Absolutely. Every Doug day is a good day.
Exactly, exactly. And he's chasing that rare like 10 wins and 100 strikeouts that is a fun college baseball line that he has a chance to get to with a win today and a win in the opener in the regional.
Absolutely he does, and I have no reason to doubt that he'll make that mark, and that will put him in prime position, not only in the SEC but on the MLB draft boards here in, gosh, just weeks away now.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're gonna get into right now the Ole Miss game today. And before we do, Ole Miss has the late game tonight, which a couple of extra inning games today, and all of a sudden you're looking at that bad boy ending at 2 a.m. How does that affect a team moving forward? If Ole Miss wins this game and they've got Vanderbilt on deck, how is it going to affect the team?
Well, it makes it difficult. Of course, the obvious answer to that is, but we did have a later game against Georgia on Saturday night. This past Saturday night, it went into extended innings. I believe 11 was the number of innings that we extended to. So I don't think that it's going to play that much of a role uh, in our preparation or in our readiness for the game. It's going to come down to the pitcher's mentality, in my opinion. The starting pitching, I believe Leiter's going to be one of those. We'll hold the predictions for
Mm-hmm.
later, but I believe that Leiter will be the one to face us because he had the most success against us, and we'll see who Ole Miss trots out there. Right now, I expect it to be Diamond. So, who knows? It could be the wild card that makes Diamond step up into the limelight and actually shine.
Okay. Who do we or who are we expecting from Auburn, and what kind of stuff does he have?
Well, Auburn is expecting to start their lefty Jake Owen. He is a senior. He's got a 2-4 record, and his ERA is 4.84. But he does have a fastball in the low 90s. Nothing that's going to blow us away the way Rocker has or the way Leiter has here in recent weeks. But he does have a balanced delivery with a high three-quarters arm slot that extends his release point, and that's where he deceives the batter. By extending that release point, he'll deceive the batter and get the batter to swing through a lot more pitchers, a lot more of those lower velocity fastballs uh, than any normal pitcher would. But he can hit all corners, all quadrants of the zone, and that makes his fastball play up.
Okay. And it's been a little while since we played Auburn in the regular season. I've kind of forgotten the preview stuff on that. When we look at the batting order, who are we looking at as major threats?
Absolutely. Well, on offense, the most formidable task, of course, is Auburn's infielder Ryan Bliss. Bliss is has a 362 batting average with 14 home runs on the season. And by the way, he can steal bags as well. He has 6 stolen bases on the year. So he's definitely the primary threat. Looking at the numbers, but you've also got another big stick in Auburn's first baseman, Tyler Miller. and he's got 16 homers to his credit, but his batting average isn't quite as lofty in the 319 uh, uh, neighborhood, if you will. And then, of course, the final offensive piece to the puzzle for Auburn is right fielder Stephen Williams. Williams is he's a power hitter. Only his batting average is in the upper 200s, but being a power hitter, he's hit 13 home runs and knocked in 36 RBIs. So we've got three credible threats to the game that we're going into here this evening.
And just out of curiosity, is Plainsman Park over in Auburn one of those places that's fairly easy to get it out of, or are these legit power numbers?
For the most part, it having been there several times, it is a batter friendly ballpark. It's not difficult at all to hit out of that park. Uh, of course, you get some of the high profile names that have come out of their pitching program recently, and they'll tell you a little bit different. But for the most part, it's not difficult to hit it out of Plainsman Park.
Okay. All right. And who are we looking at in the lineup from Ole Miss in this game to really make an impact?
Sure. Well, first of all, I wanted to say say something about Doug Nikhazy. Of
Okay.
course, he's not going to be, of course, batting, but he's gonna be the main role to set the tone before and during the game. He's actually got to go out and perform admirably for several reasons, but none of the least of which, excuse me, are that this is a single elimination game. We lose, we go home, we sit around and watch the rest of the tournament from Oxford. That is not good for a ball player, especially at this time of the year going into the postseason. This team needs to be on the field regardless. And the second part of that is this team, their goals are lofty. Their goal is to win the SEC championship, SEC championship by way of the tourney, and it also wants to get that trip back to Omaha. So this gives Doug and the Rebs the best chance for that by starting him out tonight.
Yeah, and it also, if you can get this game, this is why this is important. And this is probably why Doug is going tonight. If you win this game, you get three at a minimum.
Absolutely.
And there's some semblance of normalcy that can go forward.
Definitely. And Doug, it creates the sense of calmness we've seen over the past couple of weekends. He gets out to a strong start, being the ace on a Friday, and it carries all the way over through the rest of the weekend. That's what I expect Doug to do with the rest of the team, and bring the excitement level that he brings to the mound each and every time he goes out there.
Yes, and staying on Doug, Tuesday's normally a bullpen day. And speaking of the bullpen, that's a transition. We have a bunch of guys that we want to get some work. We want to get some guys on track. I know people are going to talk about what Austin Miller has done in recent times. It's important to get him out here to turn this around because he can carry us and he's a different type of arm.
Absolutely. Austin is someone we need to get out there and get some work done with him, and do it in a way that put him in situations where he can and will succeed, and he has succeeded before, to build his confidence back. Miller's been torn down over the past, I would say 2-3 weeks, especially, and he's taking that a lot harder than we are. But We need to get him out there, but there's some other faces and some other arms in the bullpen that we're going to rely on heavily. I think one of the brand new faces, even newer than Jack Doherty, is Brandon Johnson. Brandon Johnson's emergence. He came from junior college. He has a blazing fast fastball at 96. He was averaging 96 even in after he had faced a couple of batters there in Athens. But what we were waiting more for in Brandon Johnson to get him into the lineup was his breaking ball. You can't just go out there and throw a meatball at him just and call it a curveball. You've got to be able to get it over in the spot and extend the strike zone, and he did that very admirably on Tuesday against UGA.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking. This is the last opportunity to kind of build some depth in the bullpen, see if anybody will emerge. And there's a chance that Vanderbilt game, or if they win that after that, it looks like Arkansas is on our side of the bracket. It should be very interesting. There's a lot of storylines in Hoover, and I'm looking forward to most of them. But
Absolutely.
you go ahead.
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that you talked about Doug and then you talked about Derek Diamond. That would obviously mean if they get past Vanderbilt, the elimination game or the Arkansas game would be Drew McDaniel, kind of a normal
Sure.
weekend setup starting now.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And going through the normal progression, once you get to a Sunday type situation, if we're able to limit and get out ahead of Auburn and limit Doug's usage or limit his pitch count coming up for this evening, then once we go into Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we may be able to look at him coming back in for 2 or 3 innings to put some zeros up on the board. Not too differently from the way that Drew Pomerantz did, historically with us in the tournament at one time. So I see Doug actually returning in this. And it's possible that he could play a major factor if we make it to the Saturday game.
Yeah, is there a chance in this Doug Nikhazy start if it goes relatively well? Let's say the offense jumps on Auburn and we're up 6-0 after the third. Is there a chance we get Doug out of there so we save him for later on?
Maybe not the third. To my understanding, his bullpens, he throws 4 to 5 inning bullpens, depending, of course, on his soreness from the week before and his previous start. But I would expect more along the lines of the 4 to 5 innings. If we're out substantially and up substantially against Auburn, absolutely, then we're going to get Doug out of there and preserve his arm, not just for the SEC tourney, but we've got a long road to hoe, if you will, when it comes to the NCAA tournament as well.
Okay. All right, that is SEC tournament today. Chad Smith coming by dropping some knowledge. Tune in each day that Ole Miss is in the tournament. In the morning, we're going to get this up as soon as we record it, and hopefully you can get ready for your day in the SEC tournament. As this moves on, I'm sure we're going to talk a little bit about other teams that are in the tournament, but we're going to focus on Ole Miss and all the preview stuff that you've come to expect from us. But for Chad, I'm Steve, and of course, Hotty Toddy.
Howdy toddy.